Royal Horizon Smash Cards podcast. Huge thank you to everyone for joining us again on this third episode. We're thrilled to kick things off and dive into the world of Smash Cards with our special guest. Mostly everyone calls him the GOAT of Smash Cards. Amazing streamer, mod, and definitely a legend of the game. It's an honor to have you here, DiamondBlade, aka the GOAT. How's it going, bro?
Yo, it's going well, man. Hey, thank you for inviting me onto your podcast. I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm excited for what's about to transpire. So, cool, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us, DiamondBlade. And I think we can start with your username. I know everyone knows that DiamondBlade is a legendary name in SK, but you used to have another username, Committing Arson, if I'm right?
Yep, that is correct.
What exactly means Committing Arson, and how did you come up with this username?
Okay. So the lore behind all of this is pretty interesting. So, back when I was a young little individual, I for some reason don't get me wrong, I'm not a pyromaniac in real life, okay, but I was like fascinated with the name like I was trying to look for some sort of meme name to just like cosplay as, I guess. And then I found just the name Committing Arson. It's like woo, starting fires and lighting everybody on fire. You know, who doesn't like fire, you know? Yeah, cool. So I just went with that. As to why I exactly just ran with that so long, like I was right as I like first began playing Smash Cards. Back when I first began, I just went as random names, like either from random memes that I heard of as a little youngin or something like that. For some reason, Committing Arson just kind of stuck after a while. I don't know why. I just thought it was funny. So yeah, I was committing arson for a little while. Well, I shouldn't say a little while. I was committing arson for like a year. Yeah, I was committing arson, and then as I joined Discord, fun fact, when I joined Discord, I was still committing arson for like the first month or something. After joining Discord, that's what I was still known as, but I actually had plans for a while now of starting a YouTube, like, you know, just starting a YouTube channel. It'd be a fun idea. I mean, some of my friends in real life did it, so I was like, hey, wouldn't this be neat to do, you know? I'm not that funny, I don't think, but I think I would, you know, be pretty good at it, so I started it. But to start a YouTube channel, like, you know, I think with the name Committing Arson, like, just looking at the name, do you think that would maybe raise, like, one or two red flags to the YouTube committee? Like, ooh, here's a channel name, what's their channel name? Committing Arson. Repeat that? Like, that's what I thought the YouTube team would probably be on about. Like, why is this dude's channel name Committing Arson? Do we have to call the federal authorities? Like, yeah, so yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing probably. So I decided to rebrand. Okay, to rebrand to something. Now, where DiamondBlade came from, is actually kind of not where you'd think it'd be, because you'd think it'd be from Minecraft, right? Because, you know, DiamondBlade, it's obviously a thing that exists in Minecraft, and yes, I do play Minecraft, okay? But actually, it's not only that for the inspiration. So in real life, that back in the 90s, my dad actually had a little rock band, and his rock band had the name DiamondBlade. That's what his rock band in the 90s was called. Now, it wasn't that successful, but he was still pretty good. But all that I'm trying to say here is that I kind of got inspired, I guess, by, because I thought DiamondBlade was a pretty cool name, right? So
No, it's really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Man. What
for sure.
What instrument did your dad play?
My dad is a guitarist.
Nice.
So, and I actually play the guitar as well after my old man. So, yeah, I do that as a secondary hobby in real life. Besides how much I sweat on Smash Carts every day. So,
That's awesome, bro.
yep.
And then, when did you start playing Smash Cards?
Okay, so I started playing the game around somewhere around May 2020. I don't remember the exact date, but somewhere in the month of May 2020, which also means that once the month of May is over, this will be my 5-year anniversary of playing Smash Carts. By the way, that's pretty neat. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So I started playing Smash Carts in May 2020, and from there on, I just felt really fascinated by the game because it was basically like a Mario Kart like game. Like I'm sure everybody knows what Mario Karts is, and
I've
I
never heard
just
of this game.
oh really?
I'm
Yeah,
just
nobody.
joking, bro. I'm kidding.
Anyways, but yeah, it was just kind of like sort of a new idea, like a little spin on Mario Kart. So I thought was pretty interesting. So I just Well, at first I didn't play like that regularly. I only played eh like 3 times a week on Smash Cards. Like I wasn't that much of a try-hard dedicated player when I first began. But within a year of playing the game, I started to play a lot more on average. So, yeah, that's how I first started out.
And what made you keep playing, like, consistently for 5 years?
Well, for me, at first when I started playing the game, I don't know, something really clicked inside my head. It's like, hey, I like this game and I'm getting kind of good at it because after a few months of playing, I was already pretty decent. I definitely wasn't among the best, but I was pretty decent at the game. And so it's like, hey, this is fun to play in my free time, why not play it more? So I started grinding more hours every day. So, the better I became, the more motivated I became to keep playing the game. Uh, it's like the once, because for me, personally, I think winning is fun. So the more I began to win at the video game, the more I began to play it, and it's just like a kind of a cycle. Eventually, I found myself playing many, well, not I wouldn't say many hours every day, but at least like 1 to 2 hours every day for like a while. So, yeah, I was doing that for a while. And then, of course, I don't really think I'd still be playing the game, or at least not nearly as much as I still do if it wasn't for the Discord scene. I mean, I actually have like random people back in the day come to me and rename themselves to like, oh, committing arson, you need to join the Discord and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I should probably do that. So eventually, in like what I think it was August or September 2022, I joined the Discord, and yeah, I definitely was introduced to a new Smash Kart scene that I had never really known existed. Well, I did know it kind of existed from YouTube channels and stuff that advertise tournaments, which is, by the way, my ultimate goal is to win tournaments. But yeah, that whole thing was what really kept me going for all these years, playing the game was just the whole tournament scene and also world record hunting that also helped. Just basically make up goals for yourself to achieve so that you might keep playing the game,
Do
keep
you still talk?
entertaining yourself.
Do you still talk to the person that like introduced you to Discord, like the community?
No, not really actually. Well, there are multiple people first of all that
Oh,
I played with and that renamed themselves to say that, and then Um, well, I mean, there's a few I still kind of know, but some of them, I mean, don't exist anymore. They aren't really in the Smash Kart scene anymore. But there's a few that I played back in the olden days that I still know from here and there. But some of the key figures that I knew from back then was Dragon Master 19. I'm sure you know who he is if
yeah.
you are around the
Yeah.
Discord, and Yeah, he's definitely one of the people that kind of got me started, especially when I first joined Discord. Like he's immediately one of my best friends. So I knew him very well. And Not Even Trying as well was one of those people who I already knew from before I even joined Discord. So yeah, those are two of the figures that I knew right off the bat.
Since we are talking about SK and the way you started to play SK, I think many people would like to know about your favorite character, especially Pebble fans. So, what is so special about Luna for you?
Right. So yeah, so for Luna, I think she got added in the game like I forgot exactly when she got added, but in the update that she got added before, I was actually a Pebbles user, like because Pebbles was just has a good design, you know. I really like the design of the character. Like it's become a meme for me to kind of hate on Pebbles recently since she's like kind of Luna's rival, right? But in reality, I think Pebbles is like one of the better characters in the game. But the thing about her is, the thing about Luna is that, I mean, it's kind of simple, really. I mean, the lore isn't very deep on this one because Luna is the color light blue or cyan. So that's my favorite color. So that's like literally the main reason that I chose Luna is because I like the color of the cute cat that was already cute with Pebbles, but she just got an upgrade because she's blue now. So yeah. It's I chose her because she got a color upgrade, I guess. I don't know.
So, did you use Pebble before Luna?
Yep. Yes, I did.
I think I did the same because I was waiting to get Luna, and this Pebble was the only cat that looked nice in this game. I picked Pebble and use it.
Oof, don't be saying that. We might have some Sammy fans in the chat. They might get offended by that.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm
Sammy,
not gonna lie, I'm a Sammy fan. Sorry, guys.
Uh-oh.
Sammy is cute
Super
as
Sammy.
well, but I've seen many people using Sammy, so I was like, I'm not gonna use Sammy like everyone else, so I'm gonna use Pebble and wait for Luna or Mr. Invisible.
Yeah, in my case though, Luna, like I used Pebbles before Luna even existed, because Luna wasn't in the game yet when I was using Pebbles. So as soon as Luna got added in an update, I was like, oh hey, we got an epic character that's literally just an upgrade of Pebbles. So hey, why not use this one? You know, be more unique, I guess, because less people on average have Luna. So you know.
There you have it, guys. Now you know why. And
Yes,
then
sir.
we need to know what's your favorite map. I really hope you don't say the map that I'm thinking you're gonna say, but we'll see.
What Stucky Speedway or something?
There you go.
It's
Is it?
literally what everybody plays the. I mean,
This is like
okay.
the
So
only
to
one.
answer, to answer your question, for me, I don't know if I really have a favorite map because there are so many great maps that are great for different things. Like for FFA, for instance, for FFA, my favorite map would probably be like Smash Island for probably
Yeah.
obvious reasons. For world record hunting, it's the best map. Well, maybe besides Old Graveyard, but that's up for debate. But anyways, yeah, Smash Island is among my favorites. And then for other things like 1v1, I still like Stucky Speedway for 1v1. I don't know, call me a random, I guess, because literally everyone thinks that. Call me a bot, I guess. But I don't have that much of a diverse opinion from the majority of the player base. I like Stucky Speedway for 1v1s, but I also like other maps like Gravel Pit. Gravel Pit's a good 1v1 map. And let's see. Well, I mean, all the OG maps are always been among my favorites. Like, of course, there's Smash 4. Uh, there are a bunch of Slick and Slide. Slick and Slide's cool as well. I've recently began to like Slick and Slide more. I've kind of had more of a meh relationship with the map years past, but recently I've been kind of liking to grind on Slick and Slide more, just in FFAs and things, trying to hunt world records. So yeah, that's also a cool map. All the OG maps are always fun to play on, as well as the new graveyard. For some reason, I also like the new graveyard map. Um, Even though sometimes it gets a little bit of hate, but I like the map. It's a cool one. And also a lot of the newer maps, like especially the ones with all the like all the glam all around the map, like all the like for instance the latest map that's been added to the game, like
Boneyard Basin.
yeah,
Like,
Boneyard Basin. That one's a really cool map, not gonna lie. The devs cooked with that one. I mean, that was a really high quality map. So maps like that as well, like they have their own unique qualities, you know. The newer maps have like a lot of just quality into them. Not like the OG maps don't have that, but the OG maps just also have a nostalgia value. You know, you've been playing them so long and you know how to drive around them for so well with reverse driving and things that it becomes natural. You know, you could basically traverse the whole map blindfolded. You know the game so well, so yeah, nah, I like
Well,
a lot of maps.
supposedly that was all Luke's idea for the Boneyard Basin. That was all
Oh,
him.
really?
That's crazy,
Nice.
right?
Let's
That's
go,
what I
Luke.
that's what I read. Shout out to Luke the goat.
W Luke. Hey,
So most disliked map.
disliked map. Um,
Dislike.
hmm. Okay, let's see. Time to make people angry. Hmm. Okay, so, I think for me the most disliked map maybe some of the sky arenas because they're kind of plain, kind of because
Like nothing
I
there.
mean, yeah, they don't have much in terms of the background like except for some random mountains, and then I don't know, it's just they seem kind of the geometry of all the maps just seems kind of simple, you know? There isn't much going on, really. There's still some of the maps are still fun. Like I like pinball for FFAs, but some of them are just kind of meh. You know, no one would really care if they weren't in the game that much, I don't think. So, I'm not trying to hate on anything, but if in terms of my least favorite maps, those ones are just kind of mediocre.
And what
I
about
forgot.
CTF? What's your favorite one?
Uh, hmm. Well, for CTF, again, like I have a hard time choosing favorites because I'm like one of those players who tries to get good at every map to be the best at the game. Like, because in tournaments you never know what map's gonna get picked, so you want to be good at everything, right? So, but for me, some of my favorites are Smash Fort CTF. That one's a good one. Always enjoy playing on that. And then I also like Graveyard Capture the Flag. It just involves a lot of strategy on that one with like multiple ways you can go into the enemy team's graveyard and attack the flag. Even Smash Island CTF. For some reason, Smash Island CTF gets a lot of hate. I don't really know why. I mean, it's just more fast paced because it's a smaller map. Um, but it just requires a different strategy for Smash Island CTF usually compared to bigger maps.
You
But
like
yeah.
what about Graveyard? Did we talk or Lava actually?
Oh,
Lava.
Lava Pit.
Lava
In
Pit.
terms of maybe least favorite maps, I mean, Lava Pit CTF would probably be in there, I guess. I mean, it's an
Oh,
okay map, but not a huge fan.
I think that's Horizontal's favorite map.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
oops.
also Snow Park, both of them, I like both of them actually because they are beautiful. I think the design
I
is
like the
very
Snow Park one.
beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Lava Pit, though, is like always some stooge on my team always ends up pushing me in the Lava Pit
Yeah.
accidentally. I know
Yeah,
everybody
always.
loves to get in the way on that map for some reason. I don't know why, but everybody loves to get in the way. And also, public matches on that map always take like 3 years to finish, usually. So it just gets a little annoying after a while, just for me. But that's my opinion.
The funniest moment is when you get the flag. You manage somehow to get back to your base with the flag and someone push you into the lava before you manage to score.
Yeah, it's always a real bro moment when that happens. It's happened to me before. Trust me. Just makes you wanna
Always.
smash my monitor, bruh.
And what about weapons? Which one is your favorite one?
Well, in terms of weapons, I think it's the lobbers are probably my favorite because just have the widest range of like how effective they are. Because as most people know, straight shooters and other classes of weapons are only effective on certain in certain situations. Like straight shooters, for example, you can only shoot and kill people that are on your same height level, I guess, on your same y-axis. Vertically, but for lobbers, they can just go wherever you want them to. If somebody's above you, that's no problem. You can just shoot them from above, and same with down below you. You know, the vertical axis no longer matters if you have a lobber. So on average, lobbers can reach around most places on every map. So that's why they're on average, my favorite or weapon.
And your least favorite one?
Okay, well, there's always the machine gun. Everybody loves to trash the machine gun, so why not me as well, you know? Let's just do some more of that. Yeah, the machine gun sucks, it always has, but of course, the developers, you know, even though it's always been suggested that, oh, remove the machine guns, they suck, ooh, boo. But that's never gonna happen, because, you know, if it hasn't happened for the past 5 years of this game existing, it's never gonna happen in the next millennia of this game existing. So the machine guns are always going to be here. They're always going to be annoying, but I think the developers' argument for keeping them in the game is that they kind of provide balance, I guess, which is true. I can get why they would keep the weak machine gun in the game, like for newer players and things, because I don't think the machine guns are as much of a pain for newer players to play against. You know, I think the majority of the player base is okay with machine guns, but another weapon that really annoys me is the snowball. I mean,
I was gonna say that.
everybody also loves to hate on the snowballs, and I am among them because the snowball. Oh my gosh, bro! Like lately, every time I've even tried to hunt like any sort of record, some kid would always come up behind me like out of nowhere
Frozen.
and just aim some random shot. Like they don't even have to try to aim. Just aim in my general direction and boom, I'm frozen. And I had to sit there and think about my actions for approximately like what 2 seconds or whatever as I thaw out if I don't get killed by some random. And that just wastes a bunch of valuable time from the run if I'm trying to hunt or trying to high score. You know what I mean? So snowballs and FFAs are a huge L. Okay, I don't think they should have ever been added, but snowballs themselves, I think they're a good weapon. I mean, they're a cool concept. I mean, I don't want to hate on the snowballs themselves as a weapon. They're a very cool concept. It's just their implementation is where I have a problem with how they were implemented into the game. You know what I mean? They're a cool weapon though, but I still think they should have been exclusive to like certain modes where it's only like snow themed maps that occasionally come into public rotation. I still think they should have kept it to that, but again, that's just my opinion.
Like a
I think
seasonal
also for
weapon.
capture the flag too, it's terrible sometimes.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
like
yeah,
you'll be
for the
like a
same
second
reason.
from scoring and frozen. And then you just sit
Yep.
there like, damn, I almost got it.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, I think just for me, it just requires too little skill to use. That's my biggest issue with it. Still a good weapon, and I think it might work better in the the public scene if it required a little more skill and effort to be able to aim. You know, like instead of 3 snowballs coming out, it should probably just be one. Either that or reduce the splash damage or splash radius. I mean, for the weapon, either one of those nerfs might help out. But yeah,
But
in terms,
it is funny though, like with the 3 snowballs, like say you're just playing like just a friendly game, like say capture the flag. Like I've been frozen with like Mihai plenty of times, and it always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's kind of causes some funny situations now, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. So we'll move on to the next. So let's get to like training. How do we get to your level of play?
Ooh.
How do we
Okay,
get to
yeah,
time?
it's
I'll call it DiamondBlade level. So this is after 200, just so everyone knows. No, I'm just kidding. This
Oh,
is the secret
after
mode. So he's
200.
actually level
The
250. If you
secret
didn't know,
level.
yeah.
How do you know I'm 250? Who knows? It could be
we
300,
we know.
1000.
I've seen the devs group chat.
Oh, I see. All right, well, so for training, well, what I did, okay, so in the beginning, like when I was playing without Discord, when I didn't have Discord and wasn't associated with the Discord scene, I was like okay at the game, but I only trained FFAs. Like I wasn't that rounded in anything else besides FFAs. So when I joined Discord, I was like introduced to a whole new I don't know, a whole new world basically of Smash Karts gameplay where people were 1v1ing all the time, and it was easy to get a match because it's kind of hard to get a 1v1 match. It was kind of hard back in the day because some randoms would come and join your match and ruin it. But now with Discord, I could just have, private rooms without anybody joining or interfering. So it's much easier to 1v1 people, which allowed me to train with people I mentioned earlier. Dragon Master and Not Even Trying were some of the people that really trained me uh, to really get good at the game. Like, because my gameplay was kind of middle of the road. I was alright, but I wasn't among the best back before I joined Discord. But once I joined Discord, I really started to seek out people that I could train with to improve my gameplay and to observe what exactly people were doing, so I could not necessarily copy their gameplay style, but kind of implement it into what I liked doing the best. Um, so yeah, I kind of like came up with my own style using a combination of like clever plays or good, things that I just observed from 1v1ing other people. And eventually, after doing that for a while, within like the next year, I was all of a sudden among some of the best players at 1v1 and, FFA, things like that. I still definitely wasn't as good as I am today, sort of. But again, in like 2023, somewhere around there, I was definitely getting very, very skilled at the game for sure, due to all this training. And not only that, obviously, like putting the time in, I put in like on average at least an hour a day. I mean, I didn't want to like gas myself out or anything, like playing too much Smash Karts, because eventually, if I play too much of the game, I start to get worse at it. Actually, like on the day that I'm actually playing it, I'm not talking about like getting worse at the game, like just the more I play it. But if I played like, well, if I was playing like 5 hours consistently without a break, I started to get worn out and not play as well. But if I played like 1 to 2 hours every day consistently, it's the consistency that's key. By the way, if you really wanna step up your skills, you got to be consistent with practicing every day. Because if you take like too many off days, then you're just gonna lose all the skill that you gained in those hours of gameplay. But anyways, so yeah, I trained like 1 to 2 hours almost every day that I could, and it paid off eventually after like a year of consistently playing or whatever, however long it was. I was winning tournaments, so yeah, it's pretty good.
So this is going to be my like the follow up question, and answered a little of it. So what would be your advice for a beginner who aims to become like the top of Smash Karts? So is it like practicing every day, being consistent, and do you have any other like advice?
Yeah, so kind of going off of what I was saying earlier, so if you just arrived to Smash Cards and you see the whole like everybody on YouTube playing the game so well, and I'm not gonna be like them. Like I I'd encourage you to just like well, because everybody has that kind of potential in them, and no, regardless of like the natural talent they may just be born with. Because if you put in the hours consistently, you can get good at anything. But you got to make sure to put in the time, because you can't just like take all of my advice. Like if I told you like my whole playbook, like everything I knew about how to like what I do about Smash Carts, and all the strategies I use to win 1v1s and things. Like if I went into all the specifics and you read the whole playbook, you shouldn't expect to like be a sudden god at the game like within the first week, or even within the first month, even within the first 4 months or so of playing the game.
No,
Like
but that's the thing.
what
The thing
really
is, no, go ahead.
what really makes you among the best players is the consistency. Like you have to be playing, for on a long time. Really, that's what I did. I have to be consistently playing the game for a while if you want to be among the best at something. Because again, you're not gonna get good overnight. You're gonna get good only if you put in the time over a certain amount of time. Takes time for and consistency to get good at the game. Same could go for any video game really, or any sort of hobby.
No, but this goes towards anything, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If everyone did what you did, then everyone would be great, but not, like for example, and we compare this with the last episode of like Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to him. Not everyone has that work ethic to be great,
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's,
Yeah,
that's the
the
same
work
concept.
ethic for sure. You just requires just a motivation and a motive to just
Just to be
uh,
great,
commit
you know,
yourself.
to get
Yep,
to that level, and we all respect it.
for sure.
And then horizontal.
Um, I was following the chat and someone asked, what is the ideal way to practice?
The ideal way to practice. Well, there are many ways you can practice. It depends on what you're training for. Like, if you're training to be like the best 1v1 player, because there's many types of practice in Smash Cards. There isn't just like one method. But if you're training to be like a really good 1v1 player, for example, I'd recommend just like finding some of the best 1v1 players that are out there. And especially nowadays, there's a lot. And if you know someone who's good and known for being good, then try to just politely ask them to for a 1v1. Now I'm kind of digging myself in a hole here when saying this, because I get like thousands of DMs a day basically asking for 1v1s. So yeah, I don't really respond to a whole lot of those, sadly, because there's just too many. But I'm just saying, if you want to get good at 1v1s, you just need to practice with and observe the gameplay of anyone who you already know is extremely good at a very high level of skill in 1v1, so you can observe their gameplay and not only copycat them, but as I said before, implement their gameplay into your own style. So just make your own style, so you'll be less predictable to everybody. And then for FFA, there's a whole other way of training for that. There's public FFAs if you want to be really good at world record hunting. Like if you want the world record hunting skill, then you gotta train public FFAs only, because pro FFAs are actually a lot different from how public FFAs with like noobs and stuff, how public FFAs work. And obviously world records are only possible in public FFAs, so I'd recommend training those if you wanted to be good at getting high scores, or if you were training for an FFA tournament, just try to call people up and get like big FFA rooms started. If you have and even if you don't have like a bunch of friends on Discord or whatever, you can like wait for live streams and stuff. Like I see a lot of people streaming nowadays, especially like Sammy on his YouTube channel. He streams a lot of pro FFAs, so if anyone was looking to train, you should look out for live streams or anything of that sort. But what I'm trying to say here is that there's many different ways of training training the game to get good at certain skills and aspects of Smash Cards.
Yeah, in a way, at the end of the day, it's about finding your own style of playing, I guess, in each game
Yeah.
format.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you use somebody else's style of playing, like first of all, it might not fit you completely, and second of all, like somebody else might have already seen that style of playing before, especially if it's like copied by a million people, because it's a widely known style. So that like a lot of other people might have seen it before, so it'd be easy to predict your every move if you use a common style. You know what I mean? So you just kind of gotta like be unpredictable in your style of gameplay, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we can go back in time a bit now. BR was your first team, or you were part of another team before BR?
Nope, BR was my very first team because I just joined Discord like a month ago, and then uh, so do you want to know like how I first joined BR?
Yeah, how
What's the whole
everything
story behind
started,
that?
how did you meet
Yeah,
Excellence and Storm after?
yeah,
I
sure.
think he met Outrun first, right? I could be wrong. We'll see.
Um, no, not necessarily. Like, so when BR first started, the first person that invited me to like said to me that oh, we're starting a new team, why don't you come along, was actually Dragon Master, because Dragon Master, as I said before, like he played a key role in kind of, I don't know, my rise to greatness, I guess. Like he introduced me to BR at first, and then once I joined the team, I was actually a sub for the team, which means because I was the new guy, right? So they didn't know what my skill level exactly was. The only one who really knew me and knew how good I was Dragon Master. That's why I even got recommended for the team, because Dragon Master knew my skill level. So, um, and then obviously Outrun was nice enough to take me in, and that's where I met Excellence as well. Um, and yeah, once I was with them, I was the sub for the team. Uh, so, because again, I was the new guy on the block, right? But I actually, we played a little practice match. We played a lot of practice matches actually before our first tournament as BR, just to, know where we were as a team. And I performed really well in those. So they were like, hey, we should have DiamondBlade play every round as well as Outrun, because he seems to be, the second best player on the team. So they were nice enough to let me play all the rounds, and I did pretty well that tournament. I mean, I obviously didn't do nearly as well as I do with BR nowadays, but because I was really still really new to the tournament scene, so I was like really stressed out um, with the whole tournament jitters and things. Because again, it was a new experience for me, so I wasn't used to playing in tournaments just yet. It was my second official tall team tournament, but we managed to win that one. It was the Skittle tournament in October 2022. So yeah, it was definitely a tournament I'll never forget, for sure.
That tourney was 3 versus 3.
Yeah, it was the 3 versus
Rampart.
3 teams tournament, and all the matches were in the graveyard map.
And do you remember a particular moment about that tourney, or how were the matches against KDA All Stars? I think the team was in the tourney.
Yeah, I think that was like what the last one we fit. I always forget the details of these things, but I do remember though a specific moment, like because in the last round of the finals, I actually wasn't doing that well. Outrun had the most kills, and Excellence was also doing really well. I only had 3 kills when we were up 19 to whatever score the enemy team had, but we were only 1 kill away from winning the whole match, right? And then I just remember myself turning around with rockets and getting a nice kill on one of the last members of the enemy team. So yeah, that's basically like the defining moment that my brain just fully remembers, that moment of just turning around with missiles and getting the last kill to win the game. So I did get the very last kill to win that tournament, which was nice. So yeah, it was definitely a defining moment for me there. It's basically what started me off. Kind of got me a little bit of recognition in the whole Smash Kart scene.
And after this tournament, you play, I think, your first FFA tourney. I think Super Smasher held this tourney
Yeah, for
1 year
sure.
after the 3v3 tournament. How did it go, the FFA
Yeah,
tourney?
so this tournament was basically one of the defining moments of my career. Like, it's what really put me into the spotlight, I guess, because before I wasn't that well known. I mean, I was known because I'd already won one tournament, so like, I already had a trophy item, and I made a name for myself, but I wasn't known as being like among the best quite yet. I was just known for being a very good player. So what really got me into people's heads as being one of the best Smash Cards players ever is when I won this tournament. So it's like, I think, yeah, it's still like the largest tournament that's ever been played, at least in terms of longevity, because there were a total of 6 episodes leading up to the finals, like the finale of the FFA tournament. And this tournament was stacked. Like, it had a lot of OG pros that showed up to play the tournament in both the US and Europe region, and also the Asia India region. And it was just a massive tournament. It's like one of the biggest that's ever been played. But the thing for me is that I actually ended up dominating. Well, I don't know about dominating like every round, but winning all the first 4 episodes. And the rules for that tournament is that um, your best score in 4 out of the 6 episodes shall be counted. And I just won first place in my region for the first 4 episodes in a row. So that means like I didn't even play the last 2 episodes because I just cyberbullying the competition too much, and then I just didn't feel the need to play the last 2 because I was already 100% guaranteed to be into the finals, so I just didn't play those 2. And then in the finals it was actually really close, like especially in the second match. Like, I did dominate the first match. The finals were made up of 2 matches, by the way. One was 10 minutes, the other was 20 minutes. The first one was 10 minutes in the gravel pit map, and I dominated that one. I had uh like a 10 kill lead over second place, 10 to 8 kills, I don't know. And then the second round, though, was a lot closer. I got off to a bad start on that one, but I still made a big comeback over the whole round. Basically, it was 20 minutes, so I had a little longer to do it. But Outrun won that round by 3 kills, though. So I'd still, basically, by winning the first round by such a large margin, I secured my victory almost. Unless I completely sold the second round, but I didn't do that. So yeah, I got second place in the second round still. So I was still satisfied with my performance, and such a dominant and consistent performance throughout really raised my reputation as being one of the best Smash Cards players ever. Because nobody had really done that before, I don't think. Like, just was that consistent, winning every episode that they played including the finals. So back then, I think I was really in one of my best FFA forms that I've ever been in when I played that tournament, because I trained so much. So again, I put the hours in and it paid off, and it raised my reputation a lot.
You did a voice reveal after this tournament?
Yeah, I did. On a Jazz stream, I remember. Actually, yeah, it was that tournament, huh? Yeah, I kind of forgot about that, honestly. But yeah, I did do my very first voice reveal to everybody on just to everybody on YouTube, I guess, who was watching that stream. I did that after I won the tournament. Cause like even like the main reason I did it was cause like I was being pressured to as well. Like, oh, we gotta make sure DiamondBlade's not a bot because his skills are so mechanical, you know. So we gotta hear his voice to get proof that he's not a robot. You know what I mean? So and also there's proof from pressure from Outrun and stuff to voice reveal. So yeah, I was up for that. So I did that in Jash's stream. It went well. You know, I was definitely very nervous back then. So I definitely, you know, not as confident as I am now in speaking in these Discord calls, but yeah, it was definitely a monumental achievement for me winning that tournament, and definitely got me started with, you know, doing a commentary, I guess, online and for videos on YouTube.
And then for the next tournament, summer 2023, it was a 1v1 Smash 4 Lobbers only tournament. So you got another trophy, and this time it was bronze. And it was a very intense match in the semifinals against Gull, who eventually won the tourney. What were your thoughts about that tournament?
Yeah, it's kind of like been the tournaments we don't talk about because
Sorry.
yeah, because I mean it was like I don't blame my loss because we just got lucky. Like no, it's not because of that. No, it's just the format. I think I don't really like timer formats and tournaments just because they really force you to rush and it makes making comebacks like 10 times harder if the opponent gets the first kill. And that's what happened to me in the goal match. When I faced goal in that 1v1, basically they started gaining momentum by killing me like a few times, and that caused me to like kind of panic because it was only a 3-minute match. So I just kept trying to make very stupid decisions and being way too aggressive in order to desperately try to get kills. But of course, I wouldn't have done that if it was score target because, you know, for me, patience is my whole thing in 1v1s, and that definitely applies to score target. But when timed rounds are added into the mix, then that strategy goes out the window basically because you can't be patient if you're down because all your opponent has to do is just hide from you and they win the game. So um yeah, and in that round I actually lost like what 8-3 or something. I forgot because I kept sacrificing myself to goal basically in very stupid decisions that I never would have done if it was score target, but I had to since it
It was
was
a
a
timer.
timed match. But yeah, it's a little embarrassing, you know, losing by that much. But at the end of the day, it still gained me some more tournament experience, which helped me for, you know, to remain calm in future tournaments later on. So I'd say it still helped me overall. It's just a growing experience. Um, but yeah, that loss wasn't exactly my best moment.
And then, being honest, who would you consider the best 1v1 player in the history of the game? So, like, for example, Goal in his prime, you in your
Well,
prime, or another player?
here we go again. Like, it's hard for me to, like, again, with the maps and stuff, it's hard for me to pick just one. It's just one guy that's, like, the best of them all, you know? Because
Who
there's
stands
so
out?
many over the ages of Smash cards that have, like, you know, peaked at this certain time frame and then they're not as good nowadays. Or, so you'd have to match up, like, for instance, peak Outrun if you were to reference him versus peak Goal or something, like, who would win? You know, it's just you know, nobody actually knows that. You can only guess off of like your own personal experiences and playing both players and things like that. So there's no crystal clear answer as to who's the best. 1v1 player, who's the best FFA player, who's the best player of all time. I don't think, but I think the best like way to judge that though is to just mm, to look at the players. Well, some of the players' achievements, whether it be like winning tournaments or getting a world record or getting some sort of proof, I guess, that makes them extremely good at the game. And even that's like not the best. Not that method doesn't always work because there are some players that don't usually play tournaments that often that are also extremely good at 1v1s, right? So again, it's up for debate. It can be debated for like endless all of time, really, to who's the best 1v1 player, who has been the best 1v1 player ever. But there are a lot of names over the years that I can name that have
All
definitely
right.
given me a hard time in 1v1s.
So I got a scenario now. So winning prize, you can't play the game, and you could bring any Smash Cards player back in history. So you need to win this game. Who you got?
Okay, so if you're betting money and you need
You need
any
the
Smash
W.
Bros player from all time
You
to
could bring
play for
back
you,
any.
who would you pick?
Yes. Who do you got? Who's clutch?
Well, let's see. I'm gonna be humble. I'm not gonna choose myself, of course, because you know. But
But that's the answer.
see.
You choose yourself.
Nah, I want to be. Always want to stay humble, you know, because I don't like being too confident and going into matches. I always want to respect my opponents, right? So I just don't want to say, "Oh, you guys suck. I'm the best." Like, you know, I don't want to. I never have that mentality ever going into any competitive match because that'll just. First of all, like the bigger they are, the harder they fall, you know. So the bigger your pride is, the worse you're gonna feel if you get absolutely destroyed by somebody else. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So, if I had to
Who we
choose,
calling? Who we calling? Who we calling?
I don't know. I think I'd go Prime Outrun. Not gonna lie, cause I'm curious to honestly to see like what he'd do because I never played Outrun like in his absolute prime, as he was back in the olden days. So I'm just curious how he would exactly play and what he'd do um in his prime because obviously he was regarded as the greatest of all time before I showed up. So I just think, you know, I'd definitely enjoy watching a prime Outrun do a 1v1 with well, heck, even with me, you know, if I could bring a prime Outrun back from the olden days, just teleport him back here using a time machine and just have him 1v1 me. That'd be a very cool experience for sure.
Yeah, when we spoke to him on the first episode, he said that you stressed him out a lot in 1v1s. So
Yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
kind of showed up when he wasn't all like when he didn't play Smash Carts as much anymore. He was still good, obviously, but I just kind of showed up and surprised him with my own unique and new strategy, which I think is what really like caught him off guard, I guess, because again, what I was talking about earlier, I have my own unique takes on how to play the game in certain scenarios, like that were more unique to me in the past. Although I do see more people copying a lot of my strategies now, probably because I have a YouTube. But yeah, I see a lot more people that kind of play a little more like me, uh, especially now in the modern day of Smash Carts. But yeah, I think that's what really surprised
yeah.
him. You know,
I'm not gonna lie, Prime Outrun's probably crazy. I
for
think
sure.
you got the W for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting back to tournaments, I think you got your first gold medal in a 1v1 tourney 2 years ago during winter. It was a game in the semi-final against SK User, and you played the final against Anime.
Yeah, so about this tournament, it's actually I made a video about it, and it was my first ever tournament video on the channel, and it's actually still my most viewed video on my channel today with like 35,000 views almost. Um, and it was a pretty cool tournament because obviously it was my first 1v1 tournament win after losing one before, and I think back then I was for sure definitely in one of the best 1v1 forums I've ever been in, arguably. Um, but yeah, I definitely did very well in that tournament. It's very enjoyable to play as well, although it was extremely extremely stressful during the ending match with SK User. I think that's still to this day the most stressful match I've ever played, like ever in my history, I think. Because I had such a great amount of respect for SK User, right? And the thing about SK User, what he loved to do is he loved to like taunt me, or well, not necessarily taunt me, but um, what's the word? Like kind of scare me, I guess, using words to just intimidate me. Basically, he like SK User loved to play the mental game with me. Um, he loved to like always, chat to me, like, oh, you're gonna lose to me, buddy, kiddo, or whatever. But in reality, SQ User is a nice guy. Yeah, I respect him, and I had a massive amount of respect for him because he had already won a tournament. He already won a 1v1 tournament in the past, and he's just definitely seemed like an intimidating figure. But I didn't let him get to my head, though. I just didn't take all his intimidation tactics seriously. And I just, decided to be humble, like, may the best man win. And um, in our match, the first round is actually extremely dominant by me. So that one was not stressful, because I actually 6-0'd SK User in the first round of our semifinal match. But then in the next round on Stecky Speedway, SK User actually got up on me, like, 4-0 or 4-1 was it? I don't know. I'd have to watch the video again, but yeah, he got a massive lead on me, which is not good at all. But then once momentum shifted back into my favor by me killing him once, yeah, I think I was down 4-0, by the way. I actually brought the game back by 5 kills, so I made it 5-4 before SKzer managed to get another kill on me. So then it was 5-5. But then I kind of made a stupid move by just being a little too aggressive and popping out of my hiding place when SK0 was above me with cannons, and then he got me on that one, so he won that one 6-5. And then in the last round, the last round was the most stressful though, because in this one both of us couldn't afford to lose anymore, right? Um, so yeah, in the last round, it was actually very well played by me at the really throughout the whole round. Honestly, I got a cool spike glitch on SK User with one of the kills. If you watch the video, but it's always it's always the last section of the game where it's 5-5 for both opponents. That is the most stressful, like any tournament can get, and that's what happened in our match. Because eventually, after a series of kills, it ended up being 5-5 for me and SK User, and I just remember us playing the little game where I'm sure if you've been spectating the latest tournament that's going on right now, like what they love to do with lobbers is just like stare at each other for a while until like
Yeah.
one makes a move. Um, so that's what me and SK User did with our lobbers for a while. We just kept like, rotating back and forth, just fidgeting like who's gonna make the move, who's gonna do what. And for me, I don't like doing that because I just like playing active in my style of playing, like always observing and thinking like what move am I going to make next versus what move is my opponent going to do, you know? So yeah, but that is always the most stressful part of a tournament, just being 5-5. My heart is racing overtime, and SKs are admitted to me later in a chat that his adrenaline was going as well. So yeah, it was extremely heart pounding for both of us, but I ended up clutching the game with one very well placed cannon shot. When I got up close to SK User, so I managed even still managed to perform under all that pressure, which I think is like one of the most vital skills to winning tournaments or getting records or whatever, is the ability to perform under pressure. Like even when your heart is racing and the everybody's watching you and the everybody's anticipating for you. If you have the ability to perform, like even under those conditions, that is what sets you apart from anyone else, you know? And I didn't gain that ability just by, just because I naturally have it, also because of all the training that I had from the previous tournaments and the previous losses. So it just trained me to just really lock in under pressure, you know?
Yeah, you kind of had to learn how to deal with your emotions while playing, so for not making mistakes, I guess.
For sure. Like it's all a mentality thing. You need to stay calm at all times. Playing a tournament, which is easier said than done, because it's very easy for your heart to start racing and for you to start stressing out and overthinking things. But if you still keep a sharp mind and still keep analyzing everything your opponent is doing, you know, doesn't matter if you're able to lock in and take advantage of your opponent panicking if they have some issues with the pressure. So you just gotta always be aware of everything that's going on, and especially in this game where you have to be very observant in certain situations, in FFAs and 1v1s and things, what your opponent is going to do. So yeah,
It was the
that's
And
what
then
I
same.
do.
Sorry, say Royal.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I was about to ask if you felt the same way playing against Skittle last year, I think. It was the 1v1 Smash Island Lobos tourney.
Felt the same playing against who?
Against Skittle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Against Skittle, yeah, I was basically dealing with the same thing, although my heart wasn't racing as fast for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I was just more seasoned to playing tournaments, but I was still stressing for sure. But the thing about that one is that Skittle just played phenomenal under the pressure as well as I did, and it could have been anyone's game. I mean, there was definitely both of us played very well, and it was all three matches were very close, with only 1 to 2 kill differences. But in the end, I think my biggest mistake on that one was just letting Skittle get ahead too much. Like on almost all the rounds, Skittle's the first one to get a kill, which was kind of my mistake in some of the situations there. So I shouldn't have let him do that. But again, it's Skittles also being good at the game by getting those kills and predicting me like that. So it's definitely Skittle's moment in that tournament for sure. So a lot of respect for Skittle there.
What would you change if you could turn back in time in that moment during that match?
Don't turn left. Because if you watch the video, that was my fatal mistake. Like, I was sitting in the back of the map because with that tournament, it was lobbers only, right? So whoever controlled mid had all the item boxes, but I had to sit back because if I advanced forward, I'd just get killed by all the lobber spam from Skittle. So all I had to do is just sit there with my weapon and try to keep Skittle at bay and wait for Skittle to mess up maybe and get too close. But it was extremely stressful. But what I tried to do is maybe turn left to try and plant my cart for to take a shot towards mid because I realized I wasn't being aggressive enough because eventually if I let Skittle run all over me like this, I was gonna get killed. So I tried to turn left to maybe make something happen, but Skittle just predicted me there and predicted the left turn, and I just drove straight into Skittle's flying cannon. So unfortunate for me there, but again, good prediction by Skittle. So yeah, it just shouldn't have turned left, I guess.
And then, so after this, you've won a series of gold medals, free for all teams tournament twice in a row, then the capture the flag tournament, and then last month another gold with Burner Rubber. What are your most memorable moments from these tourneys?
Yeah, for sure. I've had a great win streak going on now with my awesome team for sure. So for the first one, I forgot what it was called exactly, like the abbreviation for the tournament, but it was still very. I definitely enjoyed that one probably the most, except for maybe the CTF one. The CTF one was a blast to play. Not gonna lie, that one was like the most fun tournament that I think, like the least stress is what I felt in that one. Same with all my other team members. But anyways, for the first score target one, I think I liked that one the most out of all the 3 score target ones we've done because I don't know, we were just so dominant in that one. That one's the only one where we didn't even lose a single match. And it was just made great content for my YouTube, obviously, just dominating the whole tournament, not losing a single match, and I think I just played that one really well. I mean, I played them all well, but that one, me and my team just did a lot of training over the summer because we had a lot of free time. So we were able to be probably in the best condition BR has ever been in that tournament. And I'll get into like the condition we were in later, in especially in the latest tournament that we did. But anyways, but yeah, that one was really cool because in the video in the finals, I made a cool trick shot to finish off one of the rounds in the finals, which is really neat. So yeah, I was definitely playing at my peak and at that point. But then the second one was also cool. You know, it was it was really annoying though. I remember because in that one, it took like because it was a 1 day tournament, right? So it was not multiple days to schedule everything that was going on. So it took like years for each match to finish because there were like a bunch of lag disputes and everything. And it was also a double elimination tournament, which was the worst thing because the tournament would have finished for that one like about 2 hours, 3 hours before it did if it was single elimination. But no, we had to wait like forever for the teams to go through the losers bracket. All the teams that we defeated, we had to wait for them to go through the losers bracket until we could face them again. Um, but yeah, we ended up beating Trust in Jesus, a new and upcoming team. By the way, they're very good at the game. I'm sure they'll definitely. Well, they're already one of BR's rivals by now. So, yeah, that team is definitely very skilled at the game. We faced them twice in a row in that tournament for the semifinals and finals. But we managed to beat them. So, once again proved BR's dominance for the second time in a row. And then after that, the CETF tournament happened, and once again, that one was a blast. That one was extremely fun to play because I just had fun communicating with my teammates, like everything that we were gonna do, and it was just really fun, just teamwork, all the teamwork that was involved. Because in score target still involves some teamwork, but it's not really a team focused game, I guess, because you can still hold your own in a score target teams match and still win. But if your team's not fully there in CTF, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like if you have you're only as good as your weakest member in CTF. That is how I see it personally. So if you need a serious CTF team that's gonna dominate, you need everyone to be in tip-top shape, which is what BR was. Because for that one, we recruited some of the best players we know, which were very willing to join BR, which was Sammy and Zach and Kjudge, some people from TNJ, which I just said it was one of the best teams out there right now. So yeah, we got them in there and we dominated. So especially the finals, that was a very fun match to play. It wasn't really that stressful of a tournament for me and my team because we just felt really comfortable in our skins, just working with each other to win every match. So yeah, that one was very fun to play. And then let's see. Well, I guess I haven't released the video for this one yet, so I guess spoilers for those watching right now. But for the latest one, I also forgot what this one was called. But for the latest teams tournament that we won, uh, we were actually very out of form for most of the tournament because we were just very busy with in real life stuff, and we just we also didn't really put in that much of an effort. Because for me, by then had already won all the tournament items, right? So I didn't really have that much of a motivation to keep playing seriously. Um, so that's why we ended up losing 2 matches in a row. One to BAU Ray Day's team, and then the other to SAU, which had Joe the Pro in it, and as well as some other pros. But we lost to both of them in a row, and once we had lost to SAU, it was like, what are we doing? We had to like rethink what exactly we were doing in this tournament because again, we weren't taking this very seriously up until now. It's like we can't be embarrassing Biero's legacy like this by just not taking anything seriously and just not training for any of these tournaments, which is what we were doing. So me and Excellence just decided to, and Storm as well, to um to change up, to flip the switch, I guess, and to change up what we were doing. And we got basically a new tournament setup, which used Luna, by the way. Which gave us the skill boost. But anyways, regardless of the meme, we actually did take things a lot more seriously. We started training a lot over the following weeks, and once we were more informed, we weren't in the best form we had ever been, like from other tournaments where it's just like gone months of training, but we were still in good form in regards to working with each other as a team. Me and Excellence, especially since Storm just didn't have like that much time in his life, I guess, to train up, but me and Excellence did. So we both actually integrated BAU's strategy of just like naming yourself just like the team initials. That's literally it, and having the same setup. And also, we both had the same level number as well, so we were literally impossible to tell the difference between us. So maybe that could have, gone to our advantage, I guess. But anyways, we ended up dominating the next 2 matches for sure, against in the finals, against or semifinals and finals against BAU and SIU. We beat them and basically redeemed ourselves. And I think that's like a really cool story arc, isn't it? Just like the redemption arc, just getting destroyed and then destroying your opponents back, just avenging your loss. You know what I mean? Pretty cool.
From all this tourney, can you pick the happiest moment for you or the best moment?
I mean, heck, winning every tournament is always a happy moment that I'll never forget. But I mean, winning the CTF tournament was definitely a blast because we had dominated so much that we were just, all the members were extremely hyped. Especially K-Judge, Sammy, and Zach, all of them to get their first golden trophy item, and also all of us who had already won tournaments before. But it was just so thrilling to dominate a final by so much, and just we got a big laugh out of it. Like, all respect to the other team, of course. Like, they played us well, but we were just I don't know, we just were very proud of what we had achieved in that moment, especially in the CTF one. So I think that was my happiest one, I guess.
Royal, you
Yeah,
wanna
and then
continue?
also, oh, I thought you were going to follow up with the question. Was there a match that was like the most difficult at all? Like in all the tournaments that you've had?
Well, yeah, of course, there's the most recent SAU and BAU matches because both of those teams, even though sure we were kind of in garbage form, but they still played us extremely well. And they were the ones that made us rethink our whole strategy. So it was very hard playing those two teams, but we got it done in the end. And then obviously a bunch of matches over our history with TNJ have also been very difficult in multiple tournaments. In regards to the hardest match, there have been a lot over the years, but not really like the hardest team match like of all time. I can't really think of that. So, but there have been a lot of A lot of good teams that we faced over the years for sure.
And then we'll move on. So after years and years, when people thought it was like impossible to break like the high score of 31 set by Hyperbola, you managed to tie that, and then you made 32. Then somehow you made 33, and the community was in shock. So can you tell us about like your like these high scores?
Yep, I was waiting for this section. So,
Yeah.
yep, I knew you were gonna ask that, of course. So, yeah, on my YouTube, there's obviously the world record hunting series, but it definitely goes like far beyond like when the world record hunting series actually began. Because I started hunting for the world record as soon as Hyperbola, which was the previous world record owner, um, as soon as they got that 31 score, I was immediately like made a goal for myself. It was like, hey, I'm gonna beat that record one day. I'm gonna do it, because I already knew I had enough skill, or had enough around enough skill, but I just had to dedicate myself to constantly grinding some hours every time Smash Island came into rotation, because Hyper proved that 31 was possible, and I was like, if 31's possible, I mean, surely, somebody could get lucky enough if they had the same game to get one more kill, right? I mean, 32 has to be possible, because at that point, in the history of Smash Cards, 32 had never been scored before. Like, there have been some old matches and scores that have been scored by like Alfonso and other players like back a long time ago in the old graveyard that were like 31s and 30s, but I'd never seen a 32 like ever, even regardless if it was like fake or not, but or anything like that, but I'd never seen a 32 like ever uh in Smash Cards. So I just made that my goal. I'm gonna be the first, to do it. um so yeah, I
And then
just
you
made
said
that my goal around like what, and then I just spent like 2 years just trying to get there. What were you gonna say though?
no. Then you were like 32 is just not good enough. I've never
Yeah,
I've never seen a 33 before.
yeah. Never seen that one either. Hey, who knows? 34. 34 would be neat as well, wouldn't it? All right.
You know,
Well,
and then so this is also for my own knowledge because I've also tried this at just not going for a high score, but just trying to get like like a great score, I guess. What advices would you give someone who's trying to get a high score?
hmm. Okay, well, as I said before, like if you want to train world record hunting and high score hunting, you just got to play public FFAs, specifically public ones, not like ones with noobs, because again, like it takes a different sense of prediction to predict noobs instead of predicting pros, I guess. Like noobs are always easy to predict, but to do it you always got to practice a method that's the most efficient as possible. Like you got to prioritize efficiency over like the amount of times you die or something, because world record hunting and high score hunting is very luck based. I mean, it only took me 2 years to even tie Hyperbola's score. Once I finally played a round that was good enough and also was lucky enough to do such a score. But anyways, yeah, for anybody who's trying to world record hunt, I just recommend coming up with a strategy for any map that prioritizes being the most efficient as possible. Like think of it like a speed run or something. Like you're trying to save time on literally everything you're doing. Like you're trying to get this kill as fast as possible while that's what it takes basically. It's just one of some of the best prediction aims in the world, basically, to be able to predict what a noob is going to do and to do that as fast as possible and to have great reaction timings as well. Is what's necessary for world record hunting. So it's a skill that definitely needs to be learned over years of practicing, obviously, because once again, as I'll say again, um, it took me 2 years to even get 31, and a little while longer to get 32 and 33. So, it's just a skill that's learned over time, as everything else is.
And what are the most like common obstacles that prevent people from getting them?
From getting world records? Well, for
Yeah.
me, it's always the laggers and the targeters. For me, it's like it's so annoying every time you just trying to play the game, and all of a sudden there's this kid with like a million ping, and all of a sudden he just teleports right next to you, and then boom, you're dead. It's like nothing you can do about it. Again, like every time I come across laggers in lobbies, like kids that are like extremely laggy where it's unplayable, I just leave every time. Like that's also another thing when world record hunting, that you have to basically scroll through lobbies like endlessly until you find one that's might have potential, some sort of potential, for you to get a record. That obviously requires a lot of noobs with decent pings. Um, and then there's also targeters, which are also extremely annoying. I mean, especially nowadays, I get like a lot more than I've ever received before. Obviously, not only because of my YouTube, just because a bunch of clowns love to stop me from hunting world records. You know who you are, by the way, if you're listening. But anyways, I've been multiple times. I've been prevented a record due to either me being targeted by some random guy in the lobby, or laggers, or trash luck that I always get, or some other like crazy weird factor that falls into everything that goes into hunting high scores. So yeah, there's a lot of unpredictability involved in it.
When would you consider you are at your peak level? Something that is
Uh,
going on for 2 years or so, or you have some ups and downs?
yeah, I mean, I think I definitely trained the game the most over 2023 and then the early 2024, I think. Also, yeah, I think that's probably about right when I was at my most peak. Although I was very good for a lot of 2024 as well. So I think those 2 years, for me, were my like when I was at my best in certain forms. Like for example, I always start peaking in certain skills every time there's a tournament that I need to train for. Like for instance, in the 1v1 tournament I won against Anime Bite in the finals, I was at one of the best 1v1 forms I've ever been in for training for that tournament. Like I consistently 6-0'd many pros that were known for being good at 1v1s as well. But for me, I just figured something out that wasn't exactly widely known. Like I figured out a different strategy from everybody else that kind of set me apart and made me unpredictable. Especially back in the olden days. Nowadays, that strategies like mine have more been implemented and figured out. So nowadays, it's a lot harder for me to 6-0 people or to consistently win and dominate 1v1s or anything else, because people kind of know what I'm doing a lot more than they used to. But that's just what comes with time. You can never remain the number one at something forever, because eventually somebody's just gonna come out of nowhere and you know basically give you a big wake up call and prove that there's definitely more for you to worry about. You're not always going to be number one at everything forever, but what has kept me like number one for a while now is just, again, my consistency at the game, and my willingness to just study and observe like anything that anybody is doing and try to implement it into what I'm doing. And that adaptability has just kind of kept me at like number one status or near number one status, something like that. Though I have kind of fell off recently since I haven't been playing the game as much recently. But I just think I always peak around when tournaments that I specifically train for, because though those raise my skill level by a lot.
And
Sammy
then
just asked, which is the second best team currently, your opinion?
Wonder why he'd ask that. Well, the second best team, I mean, so BR would evidently be first, I guess. So second best, I mean, there's a lot of contenders out there. There's obviously TNJ. There you go, Sammy. There's your little candy. Um, and then there's also other teams like BAU. BAU's definitely been up and coming. I remember watching Joe the Pro in his podcast. He said, "Oh, watch out for BAU. We're coming for you, BR." And as a response for you, Joe, we
Oh
are
boy.
fully ready for your competition. All right, we're definitely very willing. It's exciting, really, to have better teams in the whole Smash Card scene because it gives us more of a competition, right? So yeah,
This is
bring it
this is
on,
what keeps you.
anybody who wants to.
Yeah. This is what keeps you playing the game, though.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I definitely have enjoyed the competitive Smash Card scene ever since I joined Discord. So yeah, it's definitely been enjoyable to not only win all these tournaments, just to form bonds with my teammates and improve relationships and things like that. Just get to know people. It's not only the competitive scene isn't everything. You also get to know people's personalities as well as their gameplay. So it's just a cool thing to experience. But back to the question, the second best teams. Once again, TNJ, BAU, the SAU team. I don't know if they're a thing anymore, but the members of that team were very good. And then there used to be PBF as well. They were extremely good, but they're not around much anymore. I don't think so. And then there might be a couple more that are up and coming. I've heard of the what are they called? The Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth or something? I
PLC,
don't
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Oh, PLC.
PLC. Yeah,
I've
there you
seen that.
go. I've heard of them. They seem pretty good. I don't know if I don't know if they're among the the second best yet, but they're definitely up there. So there are a lot of up and coming teams out there that have a lot of good members that could potentially, give BR some problems. But in terms of the best team, I definitely think BR is still number one and will remain number one as long as we keep practicing and playing the game. We'll always be number one until we ever stop. I think because our teamwork is just what really makes us click. We've just been working together so long.
Oh, this is going to cause a lot of drama now.
I love drama.
What about Smash Crow?
Oh yeah, Smash Crew, of course. Yeah, how could I forget? Oops, I'm sorry. Well, guess I just made them mad. But
What
yeah,
about
Smash Crew, of
AX?
course.
We're not
Yeah,
the
well,
same
AX, of
person.
course.
Oh,
I mean, you guys like prioritize CTF though? So if you guys really wanted to introduce yourselves into the score target scene, you guys got to train up score target. I mean, that's all I can say. If you want my honest answer, you got to train the game to play the game.
They train for 1v1. You have no idea how it was for me to go on
Uh,
X server and see them asking 1v1, 1v1. You were like this.
yeah, yeah, for
and
sure.
then so you won trophies in each game mode that had an official tourney. One we've won free for all teams, capture the flag. Which mode do you like the most, and which mode uh don't you like the most? I guess.
Um, well, in terms of all Smash Bros. Game modes, like, are you talking about all the competitive ones that have been in tournaments, or like all the
Yeah,
game
for
modes of
like
Smash Bros?
the like official tournaments.
Okay, so yeah, for all the tournament game modes, I mean, I don't know. The most enjoyable tournament for me, as I said, was the CTF one. So CTF is extremely fun to play, even though it is a bit technical with the how you organize tournaments like that, because they are pretty big with big teams. But so there's a lot of scheduling issues that sometimes go into matches. But besides that, it's a cool tournament format, and it's a cool game mode to play. I definitely enjoy CTF a lot more than I thought I would, honestly, for a tournament. But then there's of course your classic 1v1 game mode. This one I think is the most stressful type of tournament game mode because it's all on you, right? Like when you're playing this one, you are in control of your destiny basically. And I think this game mode is like one of the best. Like in this one, it's like I think it's the least luck based out of all the tournament game modes. Like it's the game mode where the least amount of luck is required for you to do better in it. But but yeah, for that one, I still like 1v1s obviously, but lately 1v1's been getting a little boring for me, but I still like them. You know, if a new tournament item was introduced and 1v1 tournament was going on, you know, I might start training again, you know? But anyways, yeah, 1v1 is fine though. FFA is very enjoyable for me as well. I've never lost an FFA tournament before, fun fact. Um, but yeah, FFAs I always love playing those because they're just unpredictable. Sure, it is luck based sometimes, but I think if you have the ability to play consistently in FFAs, you'll do fine in every FFA tournament. If you have the ability to do consistently well, place top 3 in every single pro lobby that you play in, then you'll do very well in every FFA tournament as well. So yeah, it's
And then
just consistency for that one.
and then which kind of tournament do you feel like you do your best in, like when you're locked in? Is it like
I think
1v1?
I do. I think I do
I
good
know
in
you're gonna say
every game mode,
everything.
but
I
yeah, but I think
oh,
I just feel the most comfortable in like score target teams modes and also CTF just because it's just comforting knowing that you also
someone
have
else could,
others that
yeah.
are in the same boat as you, dealing with the same amount of stress, you know? So like when you deal with it together, then it just lessens the burden on every member. So it just makes it easier to lock in, I guess, when those types of tournaments.
That's true. Because you can just rely on the other players to, carry if it had to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, we talk a lot about tournaments. Let's move a topic a bit. Let's talk about streaming. You recently started streaming on YouTube and you make videos with spicy commentary, I would say. So how did all
Well, thanks.
started?
Okay, so my YouTube journey started like what, more than a year ago now? It's crazy. I've already been doing this for a year. Can't believe that. I guess I'm old, but anyways, for me, I started my YouTube with my very first video was just a 20 plus kill round compilation, which I didn't really expect to really pop off that much. It's like, I mean, it is kind of a new idea though, because I haven't seen many like 20 kill rounds on YouTube much in Smash Cards. So I was like, hey, maybe people might want to see some pro gameplay of somebody getting some high scores in Smash Cards, and evidently everybody wanted to see that because immediately that video did very well and got me a good amount of subscribers right off the bat for a beginner. Um, which was surprising because the editing on it was kind of meh, yeah, yeah, it was okay, I guess. But with the sound effects and stuff, I remember just adding those randomly in there. But yeah, and then after that, that video did well, and then I released my next one, and within only 2 videos, I already had 100 subscribers, which is kind of wild. I never expected to have that. Even 100 subscribers was still kind of unique to me back then, because I didn't expect to do that well on YouTube. But yeah, I ended up doing well. So it's like, hey, why not keep uploading? Why not keep doing this? So I uploaded more random videos over a while, just about like various seasons or events in Smash Cards or other random things until I eventually, and also that's when the tournament video, my first one, the most viewed one, came out. Like, what was it, my 6th video or something, 5th? I don't know. But after that, once I had revealed my voice. Once I'd revealed my voice from that one tournament, the FFA one, my first win of the FFA tournament. So once I revealed my voice already, it's like, hey, why not make a video with my voice, Wouldn't that be neat? So yeah, I did that. And It's called the Smash Carts Experience, and it did pretty well. Not gonna lie, I got a lot of positive feedback on it, so I was like, hey, let's keep doing this, you know. But I decided to start a new series called Smash Carts Nonsense. I'm sure if you've ever been on my channel, you've heard of those. They're basically trash commentary videos that I just make occasionally, like when I'm in the mood to. When I'm in the mood to yap, I'm just, hey, let's make a SKN video, you know? Yeah, let's do that. So, yeah, that's how I run things basically now. Um, and then from those videos, I got some more positive feedback, you know, which is nice. People appear to somehow like my voice. I don't know how that's possible, but, you know, that's a pretty cool thing. And yeah, just been popping off from there. I got 1,000 subscribers, like, eh, great. I also forgot the date I got that, because of course I did. I always forget, like, dates of things for some reason. I don't know why, but, yeah, I got 1,000 subscribers, which is, like, monumental for me, because as I said before, I wasn't even expecting to get 100 with my, style of video, but, yeah, I was really grateful for that. It was a really awesome experience, and then, nowadays I'm at 2,000 plus. So yeah, I'm doing pretty well for myself so far, I think. So
Let's
yeah, it's just the journey
go.
on YouTube has been a big W. Oh, and also live streaming. Yeah, I forgot about that. So I also got a million comments like, "Oh my gosh, DiamondBlade, you need to start live streaming." So yeah,
I
I
was waiting for
listened.
that.
Yeah, you knew it was coming, but
Yeah.
um but yeah, I started live streaming just because everybody demanded it. So my
These
first
voices,
stream.
man.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
the impersonations, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta have them. But anyways, so yeah, the live stream. My first stream went pretty well. I mean, it's kind of mediocre, but aren't all my streams? But anyways, um, I think it went pretty well. I got some more positive feedback, which is a massive W. So it's like, hey, let's do this sometimes, you know. If something's working for you, why not keep at it? So. I decided to occasionally stream. I think I might stream a little more often though over the summer because I have, you know, more free time, which is neat. But once I finally get done with this year of high school. But anyways, yeah, I have been streaming more lately with the tournament, which has gotten me more subscribers and things, and you know, and it's definitely popularized my YouTube channel more the more I stream. So I think streaming is definitely a thing I want to be looking into some more in the future because evidently people like it somehow. So I'm gonna keep doing it. You know?
I can't wait for this next question.
Uh-oh.
I
Horizontal,
think
it's all yours.
I think everyone wants to know this in your videos, and sometimes while streaming, you call people clowns. Why clowns?
Okay, well, here we go. So have you ever heard of like the art of the insult? It's a little thing I play. Like it's a joke, okay? I don't expect my viewers to actually be a bunch of men dressed in clown suits,
No,
like
not like
honking their horns at the monitor. Even though they act like it sometimes. But anyways, I just call them that because, well, first of all, it's a common thing on Discord. Like, oh, what a clown, get out of here, stop acting like that. Like, if they ask ridiculous things, which they do like once every 3 seconds in my streams on average. But, anyways, yeah, it's just my thing. You know, I mean, even in my first commentary video, the Smash Carts Nonsense one, um, like called like one or two people clowns. It was like, you know, oh hey, the people think that's funny. Why not keep doing it? You know what I'm saying? So, same with the whole nerd thing. You know, what a
Yeah.
nerd, what a nerd. You know, um,
oh man.
and all the other common you know, things that I love calling random kids that I see online. You know, just a mild amount of cyberbullying in order to increase my clout. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a business, really. Mm-hmm.
It's like a marketing strategy or something, right?
Exactly. That's what it is. You get
Surrounded by
me?
clowns.
Let's go. Hey.
All right. So moving, he got me.
What
So
are you clowns gonna ask next?
moving on from the clowns. So she might have to ask the next question, and I got this. So, which players inspired you? Would you say like Dragon Master?
Inspired me? Well, yeah, it was a mix of people that I actually interacted with before Discord, like Dragon Master, as you said. Not Even Trying was there, as well as a few others. But there's also like a lot of the stuff I saw on YouTube as well when I was younger, like a lot of the tournament streams that Jash did, like back in the olden days, like um with his older teams. And I also heard of Outrun a lot as well from YouTube and things, like especially Shawnee Sean's video where he won that one tournament, the Lobbers one in Smash Fort, where he beat Outrun at the end. Like, you know, I was like, if the best player can be beaten, I could beat him too potentially. But I was just looked up to figures like Outrun and a little bit like Shawnee Sean and just people that were known for being skilled at Smash Carts from YouTube. I just kind of wanted to be like them and be better than them. Not only like I basically wanted like I always loved for some reason to study people's gameplay even before I was on Discord. Like what are they doing wrong here in this live stream, or what what are they doing here? So, and I'm sure people do that all the time to me as well. Like, oh, DiamondBlade's so garbage. Why did he take that bad shot on this random live stream that he did 3 years ago or whatever? But anyways, for some reason I just got into the hobby of just looking at random Smash Cards gameplay on YouTube and just studying it, which has also helped me get a better understanding of like people's movement in the game usually. Um, but yeah, just studying figures that I knew to be good at the game was definitely an inspiration for me. So yeah,
And then, what are your future goals? Like for the game, obviously.
future goals. Ooh,
Like, what's there left to achieve in Smash Cards for you?
I mean, honestly, nothing much. I mean, I could just grind the world record for literally every map in the game and just be number one at every map. But then I'd be taking like try hardened to like the 10th degree on that one. So I don't know if I have enough time to do that. But you never know. I might think about it. But anyways, yeah, for this game, I mean, I've accomplished so much in this simple .io game, which was at first when I first came across it, I was like, what is this Mario Kart copycat like game? But as I discovered it ended up not to be a Mario Kart copycat, but a Mario Kart upgrade. Basically, it's like, hey, I enjoy this better than Mario Kart's. Like, this is a cool game, So, but what'll keep me playing basically is I don't know. I think this game would be nice if it could get some more content in terms of game modes and things. Because the developers have recently been doing a great job at doing the maps and doing the cosmetics. Like I think those are top tier. But the only thing I wish they might do better on is appealing to the player that's just been uh dedicated to their game for so long. Like that type of player that just commits themselves fully, no matter what, to the game over the years. I mean, I get it. It's Tall Team is a business, right? So they're probably not going to do that because it'd be smarter for them to appeal to the player base that's just gotten into the game and appeal to new players as well, which I fully understand and get because that's how business works to get more people on your game. But what I would appreciate in the future is a 1v1 game mode, like a ranked 1v1 game mode specifically. I think that would be really sick. And if that came into the game, I might start grinding 1v1s again to get the highest rank, the highest prestige, the highest whatever.
That'd be really
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's like if there are multiple classes and ranks, and if there's also skill-based matchmaking, so that like all the newer players like would like still have a good time because they would be matched up against players who are as skilled as them. So like players in the lowest ranks couldn't be matched up against players in the lowest ranks, and the best players could also have the best experience by playing the best players in their same rank. So implementing a skill-based matchmaking system would also be really cool for a ranked 1v1 game mode. But again, it's easier said than done. Tall Team has to allocate a lot of resources if they're going to make that happen. But I think if they really want me to, and players like me that have been playing like this game forever, basically, if they want to keep us around for longer, they need to implement more game modes that sort of appeal to more of the competitive Smash Kart scene than just the overall casual Smash Kart scene. But once again, Tall Team is a business, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I would appreciate it for sure.
Did you have any moments when you were close to quit SK?
I've had a few where I've just gotten demotivated, just from lack of content. Like, for if like a new season came out, it's just like cosmetic spam, which just came out a couple of times so far. Those seasons just were kind of like meh, and just like the cosmetics were good, don't get me wrong, but there was just nothing there that really inspired me to keep playing, except for the goal that I had set for myself long ago, which was hunt world records, get the world record. But now that I have the world record, I mean, what else is there to do? So I think, once again, I just need more content for this game if I'm going to be playing it consistently for sure.
And what are your advices for someone who loses a tourney match and gets so disappointed that they are considering quitting this game?
Well, for those who, if you feel demotivated, like, oh, I'm never going to be as good as these players who are dominating these tournaments, or this team who's like the best ever, I'm never going to join or get in that team because I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm just going to quit the game now. Like, I think if you truly feel that you want to become among the best or elite Smash Karts players, same could go for like literally any other video game hobby, talent, or whatever. But for when we're talking Smash Karts, if you want to really be among the best at that specific thing, then, well, I mean, you just gotta allocate your time and stay consistent at it. I mean, as I said before, you're not gonna be the best when you just start out. It requires time and patience, basically, to train up your amount of skill until you finally reach that mountain peak, I guess, of skill, to where you've finally reached the top of the mountain. Even though there's a long road to get to there for sure. There was for me. Because over my 5 years of playing, I definitely, for most of that time, wasn't considered the best at all. But it just requires dedicated gameplay and just dedication to the game. You're gonna lose a lot and fail many times, of course, because that happens to everybody. You're gonna get absolutely obliterated by players that are better at you, but don't take that as like, oh, I just suck at the game, I'm never gonna get better, I'm gonna get absolutely trashed on every time. No, you should take that as they taught me a new level of gameplay that I haven't ever seen before, so I need to replicate and grind in order to replicate their play style and replicate their level of skill. You know what I mean? So it's not a matter of you just don't have enough talent to play the game. It's just a matter
You
of
have to
how willing
adapt
you
and
are. Yeah, how willing you are to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it's more
no,
like
because
never give up and train.
Yep.
no, because I've seen people all the time, like after they lose a tournament, they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit the game. It's just not for me. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
have to,
fine. If players want to do that, they can, and I mean that's understandable. If you just feel like you don't have enough time to allocate into this certain skill, then sure, you do what you want. But I'm just saying, if you have the ultimate goal of becoming the best at Smash Karts, then anybody can do it. But it just will require a lot of time and effort, basically. If you want to get to the tip top of any sort of, as I said before, I keep using this reference, but if you want to get to the tip top of the mountain, you just got to do a lot of climbing for sure. It's a
You have
lot
to
of
learn
effort.
to lose in order to win.
Yep.
There you go.
I mean, there's
And
this
then
classic reference that losing makes you stronger, but it is kind of true,
it's true. No,
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. From a video game point of view and from a personal point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
And then this is the question that everyone wants to know.
Uh-oh.
Are you the GOAT?
Well, in terms of being a
Not the
farm
animal.
animal,
You're not a farm
oh,
animal.
not the
Sorry,
farm
bro.
animal? Oh,
No.
sorry.
No
That's
clowns
the wrong
allowed.
one. No clowns allowed. Okay,
No
so
clowns
in
allowed.
terms of the greatest of all time, I mean, that's that's I mean, that title can be given to plenty of people over the as time passes by, because you remember Outrun, right? He used to be considered the GOAT till I pulled up, and then now I'm considered the GOAT by a lot of people. And then you never know, once I eventually, if I ever leave the Smash Card scene, somebody else could show up and absolutely dominate everything, and be 10 times better than me potentially. So, and then that would probably like in basketball, for instance, there's like the debate between LeBron and Michael Jordan. Yeah,
Listen,
forgot his name for a second.
wait a
The,
minute.
there's a debate between LeBron and Michael Jordan. I was like, who's the GOAT? You know what I mean? And then like there's
No,
good arguments for both. So
this was a
same
terrible
thing might
example.
happen for me in the future.
No. Michael Jordan, the GOAT. That's it.
Uh-oh.
All
You
right.
might have you might anger some LeBron fans in the chat
I
if
don't
there's
care.
you don't care. Uh-oh.
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
time for more
Michael Jordan
controversy.
is the greatest of all time. That's
Let's
it.
go. All right. Well, anyways,
And
besides
then
that, I was trying to reference it though to how people might see me in the future. Like, who's the greatest of all time? Was it DiamondBlade back in 2024 or whatever? Was it peak DiamondBlade? Or is it now, Goofy Goober, now that it's 2040? Goofy Goober is now the best ever at the game, and he's like 10 times better than DiamondBlade ever was. Like, who is the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what might happen if this game continues for that long, which I'm
I
sure it
think
will. Has a big player base.
you know what it is. So it's how you define what the definition of GOAT is, like greatest of all time. So like for example, like you might be a great player, but you might be bad in like a teams tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like great in like individual.
Yeah.
But
I think
like for me, like greatest of all time is also like influential, you know? Like consistently being the best, like you could use it as like football, like or any sport, like on and off the field, Also being that mentor, you know? Like for example, like you put Tom Brady into it, like, you could put Tom Brady on any team and that team's gonna make the playoffs, you know? So that's what like makes someone him like I consider him like the greatest of all time.
yeah,
Like
definitely. I think
also
it's
like,
like their influence.
yeah, also influence too. So it's just not like all about just playing the game, but being like also like a great community member. Like there's so many factors that come into, being a true, truly the GOAT, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Like everything that you're saying here is so true because I think the GOAT, if you're going to be considered the GOAT, you got to be the most well-rounded in every skill that there is. You can't just be like the best 1v1 player. You can be the 1v1 GOAT maybe, but in terms of the greatest of all time for Smash cards, you got to be good at everything like 1v1, FFA, teams games, CTF, heck, even hat holder, gem collector, if you're extremely skilled in like every aspect of the game, basically, I think that is what really determines your GOAT status, as you were saying before, your like your impact on the game as a whole, like what impact you really have on making the game popular and things, you know?
Like that one
Um,
kid that loses the tournament and wants to quit the game. Like being like a great player, great sportsmanship factors in. Like, how many times, like, not me, great example, but like even yourself losing a tournament, but you never quit the game. Bringing that player back to Smash Cards. Like it's like the small things that people don't see that make like also like contribute to the greatness. And I think a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people
for sure.
forget those things.
Definitely.
That's just an example.
100% true.
But I agree with you. There's a lot of people that you can call the greatest of all time. But you, sir, are the GOAT.
Yo, let's go. I wish I had a soundboard so I could make a little goat noise, but
No,
sadly
that's
I don't
probably
have
what
that.
we gotta level up to that.
No.
When Paul Team
Dang.
funds the budget, we got it. No, I'm just kidding.
Moment wasted. Oh well. Oh well.
And then
Alright.
and then if you never played this game, who would you regard as like the best players for each game mode?
Each game mode, well,
So you
here
don't
we go
exist.
again for the
You
20th
don't
time this podcast,
for
forcing me
each
to
game
make a
mode though.
decision.
But
Yeah,
you
but
don't
then
exist in this part.
Who
yeah, but there's
maybe
like
you
so
could
many players that
say
could be considered like extremely good that I've
who
played over
would
the
be
years that
your favorite one for each game mode, because it's not an objective point of view, it's more like a subjective point of view. So
yeah, sure. So for CTF, let's start with some of the easier ones, I guess. So there's this player MyHigh for CTF who I regard as like basically I've called him the golden standard of CTF player basically because like I'd just say I think his positioning, like everything about what he does with his team and how clutch he is, especially in the CTF tournament, like his gameplay is extremely skilled in regards to knowledge of CTF and everything having to do with CTF. So he has basically mastered how to do CTF with his team. So yeah, he's definitely one of the many reasons why AX is very good at CTF. And then let's see what's next for 1v1, I guess. I mean, this is where it gets very difficult because there's Gull, who I've faced, and he's the only guy I've never beat in a tournament before. So Gull could be considered the greatest of all time for 1v1s, and of course there's Prime Outrun, who I never got to play either. So either of them could possibly make the cut. Although I'd probably lean towards Gull because Gull was just insane at 1v1s back in his prime. I wish he still played the game today, so I could have gotten a rematch for him, but whatever. Um, but yeah, I'd consider Gull the greatest of all time for 1v1s. And let's see, what else is there? There's FFAs. FFAs, once again, plenty of really great players. In terms of a GOAT for FFA though, I mean, Hyperbola has to be the GOAT basically, because before my time, Hyperbola was just cracked. They were the first to break 31, first of all, and then that record stood for like around 2 years, I think, and then and by the way, Hyper was the one that inspired me to do the whole world record thing. And then Hyper is also extremely skilled in any other FFA match, even though I never really got to play Hyperbola that much, but I still respect them a lot with all the achievements that they earned, getting so many world records in so many different maps back in their prime. So I'd consider Hyperbola probably the greatest of all time that I can think of right off the bat. I mean, there's plenty of other great players out there that are around that skill level, but Hyperbola just really, really proved it with what they did back in the day.
All right, fair enough. And then we'll move on to so DiamondBlade as a person, aside from the game, you want to like tell us like any like hobbies that you have, like when you're not playing Smash Cards?
Yeah, sure. So as I kind of hinted at earlier, I love doing guitar and music like that. That's probably my most secondary hobby, aside from video gaming and Smash Cards action. So yeah, I like playing music, of course. Been playing. I'm a big fan of the electric guitar more than acoustic, but been playing both for around 3 years now. So I'm all right at it. Definitely not the greatest, obviously. I'm not the goat of playing guitar, nowhere near that, but still all right at it, I guess. But yeah, and then besides that, in terms of other hobbies, I mean, I've had little things I do here and there that little the little trinkets that I might get into here and there, but those are my main two hobbies. Honestly, it's just what I like doing the most, and uh,
Smash Cards and rock and
giving all
roll.
my time to Smash Cards and rock and roll. Exactly, that's well said.
That's the best way to say it. Do you have like a favorite band?
Ooh, okay. Well,
Oh, favorite
here we go.
guitarist, maybe. Or
No,
both.
I
Give me both.
have some favorites of both, but there's only like a couple million that I can list off. Okay, maybe not that many, but of course, there's your classic Metallica, right?
Oh, enter
Everybody
Yeah.
knows.
DiamondBlade.
Yeah. Um, I like a lot of the genres from the 80s. Well, I mean, I kind of got indoctrinated into it by my dad, who was also. And my dad was an 80s kid, right? So he grew up with a lot of that music. So that's a lot of the music that's played around my house nowadays. So I also was raised to like that kind of music as well, and I definitely enjoy it a lot. I always love listening to some in my free time, but yeah, in terms of oh yeah, the questions gotta stop getting off topic and yapping. Okay.
No, you're good, bro.
And then so yeah, there's many bands like there's AC/DC, there's Motley Crue, there's Scorpions, there's Ozzy Osbourne, plenty of artists in all of those bands I look up to a little bit and then just enjoy music from. And there's plenty other bands I obviously haven't listed that I love listening to as well. But yeah, I just like listening to a variety of stuff from that genre. Although I do listen to other music from other genres, so I don't really hate any specific genres or anything. I'm very open to like anything or whatever genres anybody may like. But in terms of a favorite genre, I know this wasn't part of the question, but I'm gonna say it anyways. In terms of like a favorite music genre, probably had to be like just 80s metal, probably.
Yeah. No, you
Things
got
around
good
that area,
taste.
80s and
Very,
90s.
very good, bro.
Thanks.
What about any Guns N' Roses?
Yep.
Let's go.
E.
That's one of my favorite bands,
Oh
along
yeah,
with
what's
like
your
Metallica. Off the top of my head, "Sweet Child of Mine,"
nice? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
probably the greatest guitar solo of all time, like with Slash.
That's debatable,
So
but yeah, it's a good one.
I think it's great.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a classic one for sure. Would you like to follow a music path as your career, or it's just a hobby at the moment?
It's just a secondary hobby for now. I'm not really like invested into it right now. Like I don't think I'm gonna in the future start a rock band or anything and just like
You
get
never know.
millions of fans.
Listen,
You never know though, you know?
you never know. You just don't
You
know.
never know.
You might
Yep.
meet the right person, start a band, and all of a sudden you're signing a multi-million-dollar record label, and then boom,
Yep. Could happen, you know?
DiamondBlade is now a rock star.
Yes, sir.
You
Of
don't
course,
know, bro. I
I'd be
promise you.
naming the band DiamondBlade. If you guys ever see
DiamondBlade.
an upcoming band DiamondBlade, you know
That's
who
it.
it'd be started by.
Oh my God, it's him.
It's that idiot from Smash Cards.
It's the goat.
Uh-huh. It,
Yep,
I
first,
that's
that's
me.
great. And then
All right.
and then we can get started on like, so a lot of viewers had some questions that we had for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kat
And then
asked,
horizontal, you can take.
how did you meet Excellence and Storm?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Okay, well, I did mention how I met Excellence. So the 4 OG members of BR are me, Dragon Master, Excellence, and Outrun. So Excellence I was first introduced to him when I got added to the BRGC that still exists today, by the way. I got introduced to Excellence there. And yeah, Excellence is definitely a really cool dude to talk to as I gotten to know him a lot better over the years. It's definitely very enjoyable to talk to and communicate with in tournaments and such, and just a overall very well-rounded teammate. And then for Storm, let's see, we took him in. Well, okay, first of all, I first heard of Storm. Basically, I saw him chatting around Tall Team, and I did like a couple 1v1s with him and such. While I think I was like training for other tournaments at the time, but I did a couple 1v1s with Storm. I was like, hey, this guy's really good at the game, actually. This guy's got a lot of potential, so I think it'd be wise for BR to snatch him before he went to any other team. So yeah, I was the one that recommended the idea of getting Storm on the team to the rest of the people at BR, and we all agreed. So that's how Storm arrived to BR, and ever since then, he's definitely been a valuable contribution, a valuable piece of the team for sure. He was definitely a big part of why we won a couple of tournaments. So yeah, all the pieces of the puzzle were definitely all there for once we got Storm. You know, a lot of pro players on BR for sure. But yeah, that's how I met Storm and Excellence.
Royal, I think you can take the next question.
Yeah, but I always mess up her name.
Jackie,
So she's asked, so DiamondBlade, when you're in a match, do you feel threatened sometimes by your opponent?
Like what do you mean threatened?
someone targeting you, I guess, or something like that.
And if you do, how do you counterattack that?
Like if I think I just
All right.
for me nowadays, I just have a lot of respect for my opponents, but back in the day I was kind of scared of some people. Like nowadays I'm definitely like not vast majority of the time I'm the one that people are scared of, not to brag or anything, but back in the day, you know, I was kind of intimidated, especially when I first started out. I was kind of intimidated by a few key players that were just widely known to be really good at the game. But when I felt that way, you know, I just tried to remember that you know, whether I win or lose, it's all gonna be okay. Like I don't necessarily need to like, you know, the world's not gonna end if I lose to somebody who's probably better than me. But it would be really neat if I could prove myself to be better than this one guy who's already known to be good. But yeah, that's just kind of like the mentality. Again, it's all about the calm mentality, just staying calm under pressure, and like, you know, it's not the end of the world if you lose. So, you know, that's what I did basically if I felt threatened or intimidated by any of my opponents a lot.
Okay, the next question is from Vinignis. I hope I got it right. What are your thoughts on business as usual?
BAU, yeah, they're a very good team, very skilled. As I said before, they're like in the running for second best, third best around there. Team in Smash Carts, so yeah, they're definitely a very skilled group of Smash Cardigans for sure. Especially Ray Day and Atomic Fire. Ray Day's definitely improved Ray Day's definitely improved his gameplay a lot. Like very quickly as well. I've noticed. So I think he has potential to win a tournament sometime soon. I mean, he's already gotten third place, so BAU has definitely showed their potential.
Don't forget about JTP's comments. He's coming for you guys.
Yep.
BAU.
Yep,
I'm
yeah,
trying to stir,
JCP as
trying to stir
well.
the pot here.
Yep. We'll be ready for him. Don't you worry.
And then same person asks do you ever plan on hunting for Boneyard Basin? I guess maybe for the world record,
For record, yeah.
if that's what they mean. Yeah.
I kind of already done that, actually. So yeah, it's kind of a
What is it? I
thing
think
I've already
28, right?
done, sort of. Yep. I got a
I don't know
28
how
on that
you
map.
got 28 on that map.
Honestly though, like I'm gonna admit this to you guys, I was on pace for a 34 on that map. And I just fell off by 6. That's like the most insane. That's just like a 1 out of 1,000 match happened to me in terms of luck in that one match. So, and I just played it very well, except for maybe at the end, which I kind of got unlucky with. Again, it was an issue with a snowball. Of course, it was. Um, just getting frozen from behind right when I'm on world record pace, and it just makes me wanna. I'm not gonna get into it because I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm
That
just gonna
person
end
must
up
be a clown.
fumigating. Yeah, what a
Don't worry.
clown. Stop freezing me, you nerd. Get out of here.
And then,
Yeah,
do you
but
want to take the next
that happened.
question?
Yeah, the same person asked,
Same person.
would you ever add someone else to BR if a member would leave? Or would it not work as the rest of the team has a much stronger bonds?
Well, that's the thing. For BR, like, it's very common. Like, the two most common DMs I always get is like, oh my gosh, DiamondBlade 1v1 me, and oh my gosh, DiamondBlade, can I please join your team? Like, everybody wants to join BR, but the thing about like how BR decides its members, it's kind of like unique to only BR. Because like for us, we don't take membership requests. Like if you request like DiamondBlade, I want to join BR, we don't care. We're not gonna read that. I'm just being honest because this is what we do. Instead, we actually look ourselves. Like we're the ones looking for people to be on our team if we're looking. Like if a new spot on BR opens up, like if somebody retires or something else happens, which might happen soon, by the way, because I just have all the tournament items, and in case I don't want to play anymore, a new spot might open up. But anyways, so how BR does this is we just look for basically like scouts, I guess. We're looking for talents in the Smash Card scene. And if we like seek somebody out that has a lot of talent, this is how I found Storm, by the way. Like Storm had a lot of talent that I noticed when I 1v1 them. So if I notice you have a lot of talent when you play me, or if I just see you randomly in FFAs and you're dominating me consistently, then that obviously puts you on BR's radar. Like there are a lot of players right now that could potentially join BR because they are skilled enough or are heavily skilled, but um yeah, that's how BR finds its members. We're the ones looking. We look for their new members. The new members don't look for us, basically.
And now we have a question
And
from White.
I can't believe we're gonna ask this question.
I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
read it.
Bruh.
What do you think of me?
What's it say?
This is
Oh,
what
I
White
thought it was gonna be
asked.
something crazy. Okay. So what do I think of White 111 specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's a dude, he's pretty good at the game. I definitely have respect for him in terms of 1v1 ability. Very good, widely skilled in that area. And FFA is pretty good as well, pretty good. And overall, I've played with him in teams, like unofficial teams tournaments as well. So I'd say overall he's a pretty well-rounded player, and he's very skilled. Definitely rate him as that.
And let's see what else we have. So same person again. DiamondBlade, do you ever want to do a collab with all the goated streams like Josh, Ray Day, Sammy, etc.?
I mean, I guess I recently have done a stream with me and Jash and Excellence, just commentating on the tournament, so we could literally do that like right now, like once the tournament like reaches the finals, like literally all of us could be streaming it at once or something. Or well, actually, I don't know, there'd be too many tournament streamers for that, so probably not actually. It's a little too crazy of an idea, but maybe sometime, you know, it'd be fun to collaborate with a bunch of other well-known streamers. Grade A, Jash, Sammy, Duckman, you know, all of the above, everybody else who I'm forgetting right now, I'm sorry. But you know, a lot of a big Smash Cards event where everybody just gets together would be fun, you know?
All right, let's see the next question.
Kajosh asks, who do you think will get the top 3 in the current 1v1 Lobos tourney?
Hmm. Well, I'm biased here, but I'm gonna root for Storm and Excellence because I think Storm's definitely putting in a lot of training hours for this tournament. I can tell. So I'm rooting for him for first, and then Excellence for second, because Excellence will get to have a new trophy item for second place if he gets second. Should be cool for him, I guess. But obviously that's my bias. But for third place, um, yeah, there are a lot of good players still left in the tournament, but I think I don't know. Sammy would be neat if Sammy were to win, or maybe Max Effort. There are two very deserving players right there. Um, and yeah, there's also Dynubs as well. I forgot about Dynubs. Dynubs could easily take first. To be honest, he's among the best 1v1 players out there right now. So yeah, anybody in those mix could be top 3, but in terms of who I want to be top 3, I'd have to go probably Excellence for first, Storm for second, and Dynubs for third, I guess, since Dynubs hasn't gotten a tournament item in forever.
And then let's see. And then Cat asked, who do you think the best player on BAU is?
Best player on BAU, I think it's probably Atomic. Not gonna lie, he just shows the most skill for everybody on that team. So everybody on that team, Thunder and Ray Day and Joe the Pro, everybody else is also very skilled, but I think just Atomic stands out the most.
No, he's actually not on BAU anymore.
Oh, he isn't? Bruh.
No, he left.
Oof, rip. Well,
Because due
I
to
mean,
the, you know,
I guess due to the modern BAU then, maybe Joe the Pro, Ray Day, Thunder. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. I'd have to probably see more of their gameplay for what they're doing now, but they're all definitely around the same skill level. They're playing well nowadays.
Okay, and I think this is the last question. Terabyte asked, was there a particular moment when you realized you were number 1 in SK?
Yeah, I don't know about me realizing, but I think it's the moment that everybody else realized that like I'm one of the best. It's that moment where I won my very first FFA tournament, the Super Smasher FFA tournament, where once I'd won that one by such a large margin after coming off of dominating 4 episodes in a row, so I dominated 5 times in a row. I think I'd officially like introduce myself as one of the best players, if not the best player, to like everyone that was watching, everyone that was paying attention. So I think that's the moment where I truly became known as one of the best.
Okay, so I think there are. Wait. I think there are no more questions. Or as I
yeah,
can see.
we don't need any more of these questions. All right, then
Oh.
Horizontal, do you have anything else for him?
Yeah, I have something for him. Since
Here we go.
learning Spanish, can you please tell something in Spanish to all of your Latino American fans?
Oh God. Bruh, why you gotta pressure me like this? No? Okay. Hmm. Hola, mi amigos.
There you go. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien.
That's all I got for you.
Let's go. Hey, I did it. I did it. If my profe is
You did
watching,
it.
that means I get an A in his class, so I hope he's watching this.
You passed the test.
Let's go. All right.
Anything else for him, Horizontal?
No, nothing more.
He survived.
I see some
He
pretty
made it
creative
through.
questions going on in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need those questions.
What? You don't want me to answer them? What?
I don't know. Some of them are a bit odd. That's why we gotta filter them out.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ooh, nice. That means this is your longest podcast, isn't it?
I don't
Yeah,
think actually. Is it the longest so far?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yo, let's go.
No, this was great though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes, I enjoyed my yap session. Thank you for listening. Yes.
And then, all right, so we'll close it out. So really appreciate you taking the time to come on. Really great information. Thank you so much for obviously agreeing to do this. It's nice to hear about like all your input and basically like someone as great as you, your mindset for the game. And
Yeah,
I'm
no
sure we'll have
problem.
we'll definitely do this again, because I'm like trying to like see also now like maybe like we could have everyone from Burning Rubber on. That would be even cooler.
Yo, let's go.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
And then we also
that'd
like
be
for
hype.
everyone listening too. We have like a crazy lineup coming for like the next like episodes too. So she'll
Ooh.
probably be upset that I'm revealing this, but why not? So obviously Ray will be
Spoiler
on the
alert.
next. Yeah, spoiler alert. Exactly. Ray will be on the next episode, and followed by Flash.
Let's go.
It's gonna be exciting. It's
Hey.
gonna be crazy, right?
Ooh, nice.
So we got Ray and Flash coming up, and then hopefully we get Luke on. So Luke, if you're listening to this, we need you to come on. All right.
Let's
And then
go. That'd be the
thank
best.
you again. Thank you again, DiamondBlade. And thank you
Yeah,
for
no
all
problem.
the crazy, like, the loyal fans that were, sticking around for these 2 hours.
Oh,
It's
yes,
crazy.
of course. Let's go. Got plenty
All
of the
right.
loyal fan bases for sure. I got my clown army following me around 24/7.
What is it? The clown and the nerds?
Yep. You just gotta love them.
All right. And then I'll see you guys on the next episode.
See you
Let's
guys.
go.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you
See ya.
guys. Bye-bye.